Should this be like
Is this one going?
I believe it is, yeah.
Okay, we're all on. So
Did you just say a few things?
Yeah. Hello, hello.
You hear that?
Can you hear me?
I hear everybody.
Very, very clearly.
Ready? Quiet on the side. Do you want to
I'm
move?
gonna walk out. Sorry.
You don't have one of those official clappers?
No.
Oh man, I thought you guys were
We
professional.
each have the hands.
Okay, ready? Quiet on the
Hold on,
side.
sorry.
Hey mom,
Yeah,
you gotta stay in or out because they're gonna start.
yeah, I'm just looking for my phone.
Oh, I got it. Because I wanted to keep put on silent.
Could I have it?
Yeah.
Oh, good time.
And
Yeah.
I want to call Rebecca.
It's on vibrate.
We'll
so.
go out.
Hey mom.
Should I do something with his phone?
I mean, right.
If you guys are
It
off, that'd
happens
be
in-
wonderful.
I will.
If that works. Take a picture.
So we have to go outside.
It's a beautiful clock.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, it doesn't really work, I don't think. That's why I'm always late.
No, do you just need
It
someone
works.
to-
It works twice a day.
do you
Yeah,
need
that's
someone to
true.
repair it?
What's
Need
that?
Someone to repair it?
Yeah, probably. I think just every once in a while it needs something done to it, and we're just like, eh.
I know a clock guy. Yeah.
Oh, do you?
Down in Pittman, Pittman, New Jersey, I think it is, or Salem, New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
I've got, for my father's 70th birthday, we bought him a grandfather clock.
Ah,
And
okay.
he does repairs, and he's got gorgeous, gorgeous stuff.
Huh.
So, ready? So this is so it matches up with the audio. Quiet on set.
We're just gonna start having you just introduce yourself. Just tell us your name and anything about you think the camera might want to hear.
So my name's Nolan Thevenet, and I don't know, should I speak to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep eyes on me. It's fine.
All right. My name's Nolan Thevenet, and I'm a 28-year-old farmer. I was born and raised in Pocono Mountains of Pennsylvania, and I've been doing farming for only about 6 or 7 years right now.
Okay, so 28's pretty young. So
Yeah.
you started just right out of high school, college.
From college, yeah. I was actually living in Philadelphia. I was going to Drexel, and I had jumped around, I think it was 3 different colleges in 4 years. I was trying to find a major that I was passionate about, and I'm sure a lot of young people can attest it's really hard to find something that you want to do for the rest of your life and commit to that. So I was going through that struggle, and after sitting in a classroom for 2 years in the city, I was just like, I have to get out. Like I gotta go back home and try to make a living doing something outdoors, being active. I didn't want to sit in an office for the rest of my life. So the goal from an early age was never to become a farmer. It just it was narrowed down to that because I had a great opportunity in that my parents owned this land, and nothing was being done with it. So decided to start raising some pigs and some goats.
Oh, okay, so this is your family's always had this land.
Yeah.
This land here, but it was just open land, just nothing going on it, and you decided, I'm a 21-year-old that wants to go make something happen. And
Yeah, pretty
that's
much.
awesome. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about how it started. When you made that decision to make this a farm, what was that process like?
Well, the decision was probably over the course of 3 or 4 months since I was going to class and just really I don't know if it was waking up one day and just realizing I was unhappy or just kind of gradually deciding that I wasn't going the course that I wanted. And I just basically stopped going to class, which is not a very smart thing to do while attending Drexel. It's expensive. So I was like, I got to drop out of school. I never got my degree, and my family was devastated. And came back home and looked on Craigslist and found a guy that was selling 3 goats and bought 3 goats. And at this point, I was the crazy kid that was throwing his life away. But that was all right because I was like, I was kind of had a vision of what I wanted to do. So it started with 3 goats, and then I later followed it up with I think like 3 pigs, and built some fences and just tried to learn how to farm just by firsthand experience.
Okay, so no one in your family was a farmer prior. This is just kind of Nolan going at it.
Yeah, just
figuring out how to farm. That's
yeah.
awesome. So how did it? What you talked about a vision? What was that vision? Is the vision achieved now, or is it still you're looking to get bigger, looking to grow more?
Yeah. Well, it's achieved in that now I realize that there is a market for the products that we're raising here.
Mm-hmm.
When I first started, there was a buy local movement, but it wasn't as strong as it was today. I realized pretty early that I didn't want to do like a large industrial farm, and the prices that they're willing to pay you for commodity pork and things like that. You'd have to raise the animals inside, and I didn't want to do that. So at the time, I wasn't sure where this would lead me, but now today, I realize that there's a market for it. We have steady customers that order from us every week, so it's not fully achieved, but we're almost there.
Yeah. You said something about industrial farms. What sets a farm like Stryker apart from one of those big industrial farms? What are the differences between those? I mean, obviously, there's a size difference, but is there like an ethics that play into that? Like, what's the difference between a big farm and a small farm like this?
Well, the big farms, their primary goal is to raise meat as cheaply as possible, using any means possible, because their buyers are paying them, market price. And if market price is low, then they have to sell it at that price. If market price is high, then that's the price they get. With us, we get to set our prices, and we do that by setting ourselves apart. And a few of the things that we do is our pigs are all raised outdoors year-round. They have shelters that they can go in, but they're not confined. And we also don't use things to promote unnatural growth, which would be like antibiotics in the feed or hormones or anything like that. So really, it's a farming that's focused on the animal's well-being instead of just trying to produce cheap meat.
Yeah, absolutely. And where do you get the non-GMO feed? Is that also from a local farmer that focuses more on grain and?
Yeah, it's a feed mill that we get all our feed from, and it's all certified non-GMO. So every batch that we get is tested, so we know that there's not genetically modified organisms, and we also just don't use antibiotics. Pigs outside really don't get sick that often, so there really is no need to do that.
Mm-hmm. What other benefits are there to using non-GMO aside from ethical? Some of the natural benefits.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the big thing is that's the customer's preference right now. People are trying to stay away from anything that's perceived as being unnatural, and definitely being able to spray a crop with Roundup and have it still grow, it doesn't quite seem in harmony with nature, and people understand that. And that's also why I don't like to use it. It just doesn't seem like it's been thoroughly tested or vetted. Companies that produce these GMO seeds are the ones that are saying it's safe, so I'm not really convinced.
Yeah, absolutely. And you said we know you have pigs. What other what other animals do you have on this farm?
So we mostly raise pigs. That's like our bread and butter. We have goats. That really sets us apart because we're one of the few farms that raises goats for meat. And we have some cows, some chickens, some lamb, and they all kind of graze together.
Okay, and are every animal that's raised here, is it for meat, or is some of it used for dairy, some of it used for breeding? Yep,
it's all for meat, and we do have some, when you're raising an animal, a lot of times you'll have a breeding herd, and then you'll have a meat herd. So we do have some breeding animals that aren't really used for meat until they get older. For example, our sows, you'll see some of the pigs on our farm are like 500-600 pounds. And those are sows, and they get bred until they get to a ripe old age, and then we use them for sausage. Okay. Tell me a little bit about the process of slaughter of process for the meat on these animals, because I know it's going to be a lot different than the industrial farms where it seems like a lot less of an ethical process for that. Tell me a little bit about the process.
Just hold one second. I'm just going to close the door over here because you can hear a little bit of Nancy.
I want like a cow to walk by in the background.
go ahead.
So yeah, the process for you know
Of getting them slaughtered
Yeah.
and processed, yeah. Well, we do things, just everything's on a much smaller scale. So if you're driving down the highway, a lot of times you might see a tractor trailer go by and it'll just be full. You'll see animals' noses popping out, like there's 100 pigs in there. Well, you know, that we might bring in 5 or 6 pigs at a time instead of 120. So that's the big difference. We're not cramming them in a trailer. All animals that are sold for meat are supposed to be killed under USDA inspection. So we are obligated to take our animals into a USDA slaughterhouse and have them slaughtered that way, just as a larger processing plant would. So we just try to do it as stress-free as possible, which would be, we bring them in the night before, so they have some time to relax and calm down before they're brought into the kill floor. You know, we don't rush them around. We don't use electrocuting prods or anything like that. Everything's tried to be done to reduce stress.
Okay, and you're the one that do you drive that truck to bring them out?
Yeah, I do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I load them up on the trailer, bring them down, and offload them. Yeah.
Okay, are you who's on staff? Is it just I noticed that your mom was out there working. Who works Stryker Farm?
Yeah. So we do have employees that come and go. Right now we only have 1 employee other than myself and my mom. Really we have it set up pretty efficiently where one person can feed all the animals on the farm in one day. So that's one of the challenges to being a small farm is everything's a lot more labor intensive. So over the years we've been trying to make it so, you know, we have systems in place where it's easier to feed them, and we have automatic feeders, automatic waterers, so that you're not having to lug buckets around all day.
Yeah, and so.
One second.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Something on the
Just
back
be
is going on.
careful on the squeaking.
Oh, the squeaking,
chairs.
yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, it's an old chair, I think. So.
What, is this a temporary thing?
Oh, the water?
Yeah,
I think it's just when the well kicks on, so it should go off in a minute or so. Let's hope.
beautiful outside today.
You're doing fantastic, by the way. This is like the one.
Oh, good.
To go.
Good.
Yeah. It's going. Actually, this is my one of the first times doing an interview like this, where we're actually like talking. I'm used to the bad way of doing it, where you like grill people and make them uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
You haven't asked any hard questions
Yeah,
yet.
so this works a lot better.
Yeah. Wonder if it's that hose. Maybe that hose is running.
Mom might be out there doing stuff. I don't think she's on the phone anymore.
What other schools? This won't relate to the footage. So what other schools did you go to? Besides
I went to King's College. It's up in Wilkes-Barre.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my girlfriend lives in Scranton.
Okay, yeah. And then Moravian is in Bethlehem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There is an Instagram for Stryker Farm.
Really?
Yeah, Bill tagged it.
Oh, okay.
It's probably like get out in like Oklahoma.
I should probably know
The
this.
caption
It's the right
is
farm.
Eat, Sleep, Farm.
Oh, I made that years ago. Yeah.
The Stryker
You have
Farm
71 followers.
Instagram?
Yeah. You don't even eat that.
On a Instagram I didn't know I had.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no posts.
Wow.
Yeah, 71.
I should probably put
Now
something
you'll
on
have
there.
Get that going.
Yeah.
The problem is, I think I tried making one, and then I didn't have a smartphone, and I thought I could do it on a computer,
Oh, yeah.
and it just wouldn't let me. So I made one on someone else's smartphone, I think, and haven't used it since.
It might just be the heat that I'm hearing.
Is it picking up, Alex?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's something from right over here.
Yeah, it's got to be that water. It's got to be the well pump coming on.
Yeah, it's definitely coming, like, it's not in
trying to
Right,
think.
yeah, that's not, the way, because of the way it's set up, we have to convert to stereo, so that's why you're only hearing one side.
Yeah. Oh.
Does anyone remember where it was?
Um,
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask about your mom.
You're
if
talking
she's a
about the
farmer or not.
works on the farm.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Well,
We could wait another
it
minute or
stays
two.
on.
I don't think it stays on that long. Let's just wait another minute.
Is this Japanese?
I believe so. Yeah.
You speak Japanese.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that means person of fire, but I don't know what that first character is. And this is the date here.
What year?
I can't tell you that. It just says month and then a symbol for a month, but I don't know the symbol for the month. I only
Are
speak.
there like 3 alphabets?
Yeah, I know the first two. I'm not that good at kanji.
Oh, kanji was really hard. I took a year. Took a year of Japanese. Never good.
Oh yeah, I remember. But this means
Don't remember.
no. And there's 2 different dates.
Hmm.
Oh.
Finding out all kinds of stuff about myself.
Are these your great-grandparents, or?
Maybe she knows who they are.
No, we actually just picked those up at the Salvation Army.
They are in the family. It's somewhere in our family lineage, but I'm not sure actually. Yeah.
Anybody ever tell you look like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo?
Oh my God.
All the time.
We were just talking about Shaggy.
I mean, not all the time, but I used to work on a roofing crew, and there were Costa Ricans, and they like
Just call it.
learned the English language by watching like Scooby-Doo, and so my name was Shaggy. Yeah.
I'm being Daphne for Halloween.
Yeah.
I have a buddy. I have a buddy who looks identical to you. I play
Oh, really?
softball with, and everybody pitches at Tech, and he everybody calls him Shaggy.
Is that the one on the
Yeah.
baseball team?
No, he's my buddy from summer ball
Oh.
up in Green Bay. He pitches at New Mexico or Tech. I don't remember, but he looks like him. And
Yeah.
He does the he'll do the voice. I'll hit you with a hey Scoob.
You think you can remove this background noise?
Not to talk about Scooby Doo.
I mean, I don't know if the lab mics are picking it up. They may not, so we can try.
It's pretty constant. We might be able to remove it.
Yeah. Okay. So.
And if you want, we can. If it stops, we can just redo a question or something.
Okay, sweet. So yeah, your mom. You mentioned you kind of started this farm, but your mom's a farmer now. Was it kind of a process you guys picked up together?
Yeah, she was really against the farm when it started. As you can imagine, any parent that finds out their kid's dropping out of school, she was all, very upset about it, to say the least. And over time, I think she kind of learned to accept it, and then eventually